Thrust rattles the air with the roar of his jets. He believes half the battle is won if the opponent is psyched out by his mere arrival, so Thrust makes no attempt to be sneaky. A pompous, loudmouthed braggart, and not too brave, his sudden powerful acceleration can topple nearby buildings. He flies at Mach 2.5, can double speed in 20 seconds for up to 2 minutes. Thrust carries 4 air-to-air missiles in jet mode, and 2 automatic missile launchers in robot mode. The sound of Dirge's engines cause petrifying fear in those who hear them. He is a master at handling fear. Other Decepticons are put off by his mournful, silent ways. He even gives Ramjet the creeps. Carrying 2 concussion missiles in robot mode as well as jet mode, Dirge needs to control a situation, otherwise he too falls victim to fear, making him useless as a warrior. Mid-air collisions are Ramjet's speciality. It makes little difference if the target is an opponent or not. He'll crash into it just for fun. A terror without equal in the skies, which Ramjet sees as his own castle, where he likes to live alone. His nose module can withstand impact of 3-foot thick concrete at 1,500 miles per hour. And he flies at Mach 2.8, carrying 2 cluster bombs in both jet and robot mode. Too many crashes can injure Ramjet, particularly his internal mechanics. Joining the Decepticon Seekers in the second season, as well as the second wave of Transformers toys in 1985, retooled and remodeled from the original design of the Diaclone Jet Robo, which produced Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp the year before. This new trio has the fan nickname of the Coneheads, despite original box art and instruction booklets depicting them as transforming exactly as their counterparts before them. At some point, for some unknown reason, Thrust, Dirge and Ramjet's models in animation, comics, and even their original toy ad depicted them as having their nose cones up, resulting in their distinctive, pointy-headed silhouettes. Well, I'm back everyone, and it took a little longer than I said it was going to be, because I got a little sidetracked and I thought it might be fun to do a video for you on Valentine's Day about the first episode of Gem. And it turns out not a lot of you watched that one. And in the end, I only got 1 comment. Right. I was also considering doing a review of a movie on Paramount Plus called Star Trek Section 31. And it turns out that one of my favorite YouTubers did a 1-hour review of this movie, but in just the first 20 seconds, he summed up everything that needed to be said perfectly.
Star Trek Section 31 is the movie equivalent of murdering your grandmother, inviting everyone to the funeral, then dressing up as a clown and defecating on her freshly dug grave while yelling, "It was me! It was me!"
It's an hour-long review, it's great, but those first 20 seconds I've watched about 87 times, and it just keeps getting funnier and funnier every time I see it. Why am I bringing this up? Well, it seems in the last few years, more and more often, a lot of our favorite sci-fi and fantasy franchises are getting all caught up in all of this political infighting, and less we are able to just sit down and have fun together. So I was excited to once again present another episode of Transformers from 40 years ago, and then I realized that this episode features a man who is bitter because he loses a political campaign, then uses his fame, wealth, and media influence to align with the forces of evil in order to banish the forces of good, and in doing so, the human race is enslaved for its short-sightedness. Right. So, I say screw it. No matter who we are, let's just have a little fun and watch this thing together, because we used to be able to do that a lot more often than we do now. So, this is Season 2, Episodes 35 and 36, Megatron's Master Plan, Parts 1 and 2. Here we go. We open balls deep in exposition.
Citizens of Central City, as your newly elected mayor, I take great pride in officially opening this solar energy facility, which, as you all know, was generously donated by my campaign opponent, Mr. Schonberger. Although I defeated him at the polls in what some would call a bitter race, I take my hat off to him.
Rest assured, Mayor, my contributions have just begun.
He seems like a nice guy. In a bold new twist, the Decepticons arrive, drawn in by the aforementioned bullshit sci-fi plot device.
Let's teach them the meaning of fear!
Decepticon raiders land and do what they do best.
There's no energy here! It's a trap! Burger's taken the law into his own hands again!
Just like Batman!
Get me the Autobots!
That's not a telephone, Mr. Mayor.
Thank goodness, the Autobots!
Holy shit, the mayor's phone call worked.
How dare they interfere?
Much to Burger's chagrin, the Autobots fight to save the day. This is accomplished through the use of a flying Camaro. The 80s were a magical time. Lots of cocaine.
Scrambled my guidance system! Decepticons, retreat!
The Decepticons are once again driven off like sorry-ass bitches, while our heroes receive accolades.
Relax, folks. It's all in the day's work.
I enjoy the adulation, but the noise is most irritating.
Optimus Prime, I want to officially honor all the Autobots at City Hall.
It's about time.
If it wasn't for them, I'd be the hero. Get out! I want to think.
Yes, Mr. Burger, sir.
You can always trust a man that owns his own secret police force.
I must find another path to glory.
Oh, how did this get here? And just like that, Laserbeak enters the scene, because the plot demands it. Once Burger is delivered to Megatron, our plot kicks into full gear.
I want to help you. It pains me to see a man of your obvious brilliance deceived by Autobot propaganda.
Autobot propaganda?
You see, you are so brainwashed by it that you don't even suspect that they are evil and we are good. Oh, the power of public relations.
Based.
Suppose you are telling me the truth. What's in it for me?
All that you survey, the entire city will be yours.
First you must prove that the Autobots are evil.
I shall.
My price is 2 cities!
Never make big demands when this is your body language. It's just sad. And with that, Burger takes the most suspicious and conspicuous ride home imaginable.
He thinks he will be king, but he will never be more than a pawn.
After having been fed false information, Burger is further drawn into the ruse.
The workers aren't here yet. That gives us plenty of time to drain this oil field dry.
Optimus has some splaining to do.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
The evil Decepticons have come to destroy Earth. Ramjet, Dirge, Thrust, an evil force.
Heroic Autobots! Decepticons! Transform!
Transformers, robots in disguise.
Can the heroic Autobots stop the evil Decepticons?
Watch out, Thrust!
The battle goes on.
The Transformers.
Robots in disguise from Hasbro.
We now return to the Transformers.
We now return to Bizarro Optimus Prime.
Another raid to blame on the Decepticons. We got pissed, Optimus. Want me to swat them? No, let me.
Suspecting nothing about Prime's horrific aim, Burger is relieved by the arrival of the Decepticons.
Decepticons, attack!
Blast them, Megatron!
Save the humans!
Decepticons! Destroy them, Autobots!
With pleasure!
Let's give up!
While we still can!
Megatron. I yield.
Mr. Burger, do you believe me now?
Yes, Megatron, and I have it all on videotape for the world to see.
And you're incredibly stupid. It's a perfect storm for all this shit to blow up in your face.
Don't come back.
Hey guys, look! Burger dropped one of his video cameras. Let's make some home movies. No more filming. We must return this tape to Burger. It contains valuable evidence.
What a random moment. I wonder if it's gonna pay off in the end. In a big show of pageantry and robo-pride awareness, the Autobots are honored at City Hall.
Autobots, transform.
I never knew humans had such exquisite taste. As citizens of Central City, it gives me great honor to...
But Mr. Burger, I can't interrupt the mayor with your tape.
If you value your job, you will remember who owns this network.
The celebration is cut short by scandalous accusations, and with that, the broadcast is sabotaged by actual fake news. No, seriously, that's the plot.
Their heroic action at the solar plant yesterday.
This is Megatron speaking. I'm grateful for this opportunity to expose the Autobots for the base metal they really are.
What's he trying to pull?
It's impossible.
Playing a second tape, the erroneous bullshit continues.
It's an obvious fake. The people will never believe it.
Oh, Optimus Prime, you have no idea what the people of Earth are capable of.
We Decepticons have acted irrationally on occasion.
This device will convert even the noblest being to evil.
What was that? I don't know, but suddenly I have the urge to steal energy and destroy.
Makes complete sense.
Maybe it's a joke.
If it is, it's not funny.
What a bunch of snowflakes. Am I right? Moving on.
Secretly taped at Autobot headquarters.
And when we are fully trusted and the Decepticons vanquished, we'll claim the Earth for our own. They're putting words in your mouth.
Mr. Mayor, you don't really believe those tapes, do you?
Personally, no, but as mayor, I must consider every possibility.
And with that, the Autobots step outside to meet the most fickle crowd in the history of exposition.
Autobots, go home!
Ingrates.
Even our heroes' human allies are persecuted for their loyalty and level-headedness.
Wait for us, Optimus! We're coming with you!
Traitors!
Oh, blow it out your ass, Karen. Back at Autobot base, spirits are low.
They're such undependable creatures, inferior life forms.
I'm not so sure, Sunstreaker. Some of my best friends are humans.
Thanks, Bumblebee.
Get a room, you two. No.
External security breached.
Get a visual, Wheeljack. Autobots, this is Sean Burger.
Before our heroes can regroup, Burger's forces arrive demanding a surrender.
We will only surrender to a legitimate law enforcement officer, Burger.
Optimus Prime, this is the mayor speaking. You're all under arrest. I repeat.
Now declaring himself the chief of police, the mayor throws out basic reason and civil liberties in order to bring us to our next commercial break.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Warrior robots in disguise. The leader of the evil Decepticons is Soundwave. He steals information with his spy cassettes. And this is Optimus Prime, battle headquarters and leader of the heroic Autobots.
Transformers.
They'll stop Soundwave and his evil Decepticons from destroying Earth. We hope.
Transformers.
Warrior robots in disguise from Hasbro. Warrior robots in disguise. The evil Decepticons disguised as deadly jet planes have come to destroy Earth. Only the heroic Autobots can save us.
The Transformers.
Oh no! Evil spy cassettes too. This is a job for mini Autobots.
The Transformers.
They're ingenious. They're incredible. They're the Transformers. Warrior robots in disguise from Hasbro.
We now return to the Transformers.
We now return to humanity at its most base state of mind. Mob mentality.
Autobots, you are under arrest! Surrender peacefully!
Autobots, offer no resistance. Transform and start your engines.
Peacefully, the Autobots surrender, displaying behavior that reinforces their clear innocence, instead of, say, murdering them all and conquering the planet.
I hope you're wrong, Burger. I hope you're wrong.
Is this guy fucking kidding me right now?
And you, sir, what is your opinion?
Elsewhere, the Baroness from G.I. Joe gets the word from the people on the streets. Drinking the Kool-Aid, the population of Earth turns on the Autobots. Elsewhere, Burger uses his media influence to stoke fear into the hearts of the people. Eat your heart out, Disney.
For too long, these robots have wielded too much power on this planet. Now, let us rid ourselves of these meddlesome beasts!
The Decepticons arrive to watch a rigged show trial. The Autobots offer zero defense. For reasons.
I trust you will forgive this interruption, Your Honor. Please proceed with the trial.
Of course, Megatron.
As Burger gives skewed testimony from his lazy boy recliner throne, nothing ominous about this, Spike grows concerned about the clear growing signs of crooked bullshit all around him.
You know, something really bugs me about Burger's testimony.
What's that, son?
I'm not sure, but try to stall him till I get back.
Spike, where are you going?
What?
In the oddest moment yet in this episode, Spike leaves the proceedings to the attention of everyone present there. Ravage is sent to track him down. Elsewhere, Spike learns the truth behind the deception.
This mask would fool Prime's own creator!
Starscream!
After carefully weighing the evidence, I have reached a verdict.
Wait, Your Honor! My friend is bringing more evidence!
The wheels of justice do not stop turning for children.
How did he hear him? And what has this cracker got against kids anyways?
It is the decision of this court that the defendants be found guilty as charged.
In a clear dereliction of the law, the Autobots are banished from Earth, predating the plots of 2 Michael Bay movies by several decades.
Most generous of you to provide the spacecraft, Mr. Burger.
How much money does this guy have? Why does he want to be just the mayor? Dream big, man.
Can't you do something, Optimus Prime? Negative. Any action we take now would be viewed as admission of our guilt.
Or defense against it.
Wherever we go, we'll miss you. You and Spike and Sparkplug.
And with that, Optimus Prime says goodbye to Elliot. I mean, Chip.
Where is Spike?
Oh, he's all tied up in the B story right now. He'll be along when the plot calls for it. Where have I seen this before?
I wonder what would happen if the election were held today.
You know, it's not too late to become really suspicious of all the events happening around you and the way you're being played. It's not too late. In a repurposed design of the Ark from the original Marvel Comics commercial for the Transformers, the Autobots leave Earth seemingly forever. Now you're all really fucked. At last, Burger learns he's a gullible dumbass. Utilizing an ability he has never used before or since, Megatron reprograms the ship's course for imminent disaster.
Now nothing can save the Autobots! I've destroyed their computer's communications capability and retargeted them to the sun! They will become one with oblivion!
Oh my god, is this the last episode ever? Do they all die? No, not until the movie.
To be continued on tomorrow's The Transformers.
Well, here we are at the break between episodes, so I thought this would be a great time to let you know that since our last Transformers episode, I have put out 3 brand new voice actor videos. The first one is for the late Morgan Lofting, who we lost last year. She was the voice of the Baroness on G.I. Joe, as well as several others on Transformers, so please check that one out. And speaking of the coneheads who I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, we have another video for the late Ed Gilbert, who was the voice of Thrust, as well as the late Bud Davis, who was the voice of Dirge. There's a little bit of a mystery that comes with that one, so please check that one out and let me know what you think. And then of course there's Ramjet, who is voiced by actor Jack Angel, and I'm saving his video for a few episodes down the road when we get to Omega Supreme. However, I do want to inform you that Jack Angel is also dead. And now, I'm officially depressed. So, let's talk a little more about Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet, shall we? Like Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp before them, Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet were introduced into toy catalogs as the Decepticon planes. Years later, fans and creators would refer to the Decepticon jet fighters as Seekers. Although the term was never used by Marvel Comics, Hasbro Toys, or even the original cartoon, some European sources referred to them as Strike Planes and Sky Raiders, while in Japan, they were called Jetron of the Destron Forces, which sounds kinda cool actually. In the early 2000s, early store print marketing from 1984 was discovered, showing these toys listed as Decepticon Seekers. But how and why exactly this name survived obscurity, and how it came to be used again remains an odd mystery. Unlike many other Transformers from the first 2 seasons of the show, Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet's toys were still available in 1986, leading to them surviving Transformers the movie in 1986, and being seen throughout most of the rest of the series. Despite these two seemingly being destroyed by bad animation in the opening miniseries of Season 3, Thrust and Dirge would even go on to be seen in flashbacks later in the Japanese sequel series. Unlike most characters in Season 2 of the cartoon, new characters introduced into Marvel Comics were given brief origins explaining why they'd been introduced into the story so late. Serving under Lord Straxus on Cybertron, Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet, along with the Insecticons, operated out of the massive tower, Darkmount. Later, coming to Earth to serve Megatron, the Coneheads went on to face the Aerialbots in their introductory issue into the Marvel canon. Making a limited number of appearances, the trio were phased out of the comic book and the show as their toys were discontinued in 1987. Later, in Generation 2, Ramjet appeared again with bold new colors and accessories, before being discontinued one more time. After that, these 3 characters in their G1 forms would slip away from Transformers media for over 10 years. However, that didn't stop Hasbro from keeping the trademarks on their names alive in the years after. As Transformers G1 Legacy was passed on to Beast Wars, a planned but scrapped sequence in the series finale would have depicted the inert bodies of Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet aboard the crashed Nemesis, explaining how they'd come to enter the story. The Nemesis was found again in the original series Season 2 episode Microbots. It's also fair to note, the Coneheads do not appear at any time in this episode, but they do show up multiple times in other episodes before that. Perhaps this is why the idea was dropped in the end. Thrust and Dirge's copywritten names were passed on to new characters in the Japanese Beast Wars series, Beast Wars 2nd. Thrust would later upgrade to become Thrustor, retooled from the original Beast Wars Dinobot toy. And his partner Dirge would be upgraded to become Dirge Gun. Meanwhile, back in America, Thrust's trademark name was kept alive in a new character, in Transformers Beast Machines. One of 3 Viacon generals created by Megatron using the extracted sparks from other Transformers. Secretly, inside this Thrust was the spark of Predacon Waspinator, who in the end of the series becomes a bioorganic wasp. True story. Transformers Armada introduced us to another Thrust in 2002, where Hasbro opted to go with a new color scheme instead of these classic colors from Thrust and Dirge. This Thrust was later killed by Unicron as he fell into his shoulder joint during transformation. There, he was crushed. Later, in the live-action Bumblebee movie, we would get a cameo from G1 Thrust using his Armada color scheme. Likewise with Transformers Armada, Ramjet's name was kept alive as part of the Tidal Wave set. He was one of his many components. Ramjet was a jet fighter minicon that would lock into Tidal Wave, upgrading him with access to powerful cannons. In the early 2000s, Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet would return to the pages of comic books, and they would later be seen making cameos in many new series such as Transformers Cyberverse and Transformers Animated. And even in Netflix's War for Cybertron, Thrust and Dirge appear briefly as members of Double Dealer's crew of mercenaries, not affiliated with the Decepticons like Ramjet. Thanks to cost-effective recoloring and retooling of existing toys, and Transformers fans' desire to collect and complete their Seekers, Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet will continue to live on, like their classic brothers-in-arms before them. We return to a brave new world where the Decepticons are being honored for their perceived heroics. People are really stupid. This kid's cosplay was so awesome it went on to inspire the first ever BotCon. True story. Meanwhile, Sparkplug says what we're all thinking.
This makes me sick.
I know what you mean.
Why waste time? Let's take the city now.
I have my reasons.
Having been apparently watching the same tape for many days, we cut back to Spike's cliffhanger from the previous episode. Spike manages to escape. Somehow. Elsewhere, the Decepticons party with humans. For reasons.
Down, Soundwave!
Laserbeak want a cracker?
Laserbeak wants to burn a hole through your face with his eyes. Elsewhere, the Autobots come to their senses. A little too late.
One-way ticket to nowhere!
There's still time to change our minds.
Perhaps I did make the wrong decision. Cliffjumper, turn us around. We're going back to Earth.
Major malfunction. Our course is locked in.
They've jammed our guidance system. Hound, check our destination.
At once, Prime.
At last, the Autobots learn what we already know.
We're targeted for the sun.
This can only be good. Symbolism.
Cosmos, take action.
Like what?
If I knew, I'd do it myself.
I guess anything is better than nothing.
In his featured first appearance, Cosmos takes matters into his own hands.
Well, any luck?
No.
Well, that sucks. Meanwhile, at an evil secret headquarters at the bottom of the ocean, Burger continues to be a complete dumbass.
You promised me 3 cities. No chance left.
With the destruction of the Autobot ship comes another structured act break. I wonder what toys we can buy.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Transformers, robots in disguise.
Only the heroic Autobots can save Earth. Sideswipe, Grapple, Ratchet, Jazz, a whole army.
Evil Decepticons! Autobots, transform!
Transformers, robots in disguise.
The evil Decepticons must be stopped by the heroic Autobots. The battle goes on.
Transformers.
Robots in disguise from Hasbro.
We now return to the Transformers.
We return from the supposed death of our heroes, as Spike offers up solid evidence that could have saved their lives after the fact.
This evidence is conclusive, Spike. How could we have been so stupid?
Either because the plot required it in a contrived manner, or because the plot is disturbingly close to depicting how the human race reacts to a crisis en masse. You make the call. As he addresses the world in a press conference, Megatron's titular master plan is finally unveiled.
Mr. Megatron, now that the Autobots are gone, what are your plans here on Earth?
I'm glad you asked, Earth Germ.
What?
My plan is to conquer this mudball of a planet and suck it dry of energy.
We've been had.
Yes, thanks to my partner, Sean Burger.
Burger! Traitor!
I don't believe it!
Also, you're all really dumb and totally brought this on yourselves.
We've been working for a traitor!
Burger, you filthy...
Spike sadly learns that his B-plot storyline was actually meaningless in the end.
Nothing is more stale than old news. Shred my paycheck, Burger. I'm switching sides.
Also, Burger's secret police officers suddenly realize there's something fishy about the guy they're working for.
Or stupid enough to oppose us? This city is under martial law, and I am the marshal.
The coneheads wreak havoc.
I christen this city Megatronia 1. Soon there will be many more.
That's when Burger flips his shit.
He looks like he's gone crazy.
It is over. I saw the Autobot ship like a silver bullet streaking toward the sun, and it collided with destiny. I saw the end. They died in a cosmic funeral pyre.
This guy should write sympathy cards. Spike rises to the moment in a bold effort to clear the Autobot's name. Then he trips and falls. What an asshole.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Transformers, robots in disguise.
The leader and battle headquarters of the heroic Autobots is Optimus Prime. They must save Earth.
Evil Decepticons! Optimus Prime, transform!
Transformers, robots in disguise.
The evil Decepticons have come to destroy Earth. Optimus Prime, we need you.
Transformers.
Robots in disguise from Hasbro.
Transformers, robots in disguise.
Now the evil Decepticons have created the Insecticons. Kickback, shrapnel, bombshell, a plague of terror.
Heroic Autobots! Insecticons! Transform!
Transformers, robots in disguise.
Only the heroic Autobots can save Earth from the evil Insecticons. Or can they?
Transformers.
Robots in disguise from Hasbro.
We now return to the Transformers.
It is the end. The apocalypse. Burger.
We now return to Burger flipping his shit. Through the magic of stagecraft, he and Spike fight off robot animals that could easily murder them.
Compassion is for fools, Burger. You're going nowhere, boy.
Spike's father and Chip are used as leverage against him in his insurrection.
And you, Burger, do you still want your reward?
Yes.
Then you shall have it. Everything that you've earned.
And with that, Megatron enslaves the human race. As Earth is plundered for its resources, we get our first glimpse at Astrotrain. Inside the Decepticon work camp, Burger becomes the target of much scapegoating and projection.
Megatron was true to his word. He rewarded Burger with everything he deserved.
What's the matter, traitor? Real work something new to you?
Burger sure doesn't have many friends in these ranks.
Still, I can't forget how he tried to help me.
As this episode needs to end in a way that doesn't traumatize children for life, unlike a certain animated movie, the true fate of our heroes is revealed.
If it hadn't been for your force field, Trailbreaker, we'd be molecules now.
But wait, there's more peril.
Cosmos, put it in gear and let's get back to Earth. Cosmos, we're heading back toward the sun. What's the problem?
Sorry, Prime. My navigational systems are still controlled by Teletron 1.
Spike causes a diversion, so Chip can make a childish escape. Chip gets away, somehow. Stowing aboard a cargo truck, Chip is on his way. Having been conveniently driven to the exact location of the Autobot base, Chip magically opens a locked truck door from the inside and somehow makes it to the ground. Sure.
That's my stop, thanks.
Moving on. At Autobot base, Chip learns devastating news.
Megatron? The rocket was sent into the sun and... has been destroyed? Teletran, what about...
Instead of entering through the large, unguarded cave opening that Ironhide has never done a thing about in 2 full years...
This is all my fault.
Thrust decides to enter like this.
No, not Teletran! Stop! Don't! That's all we have left!
Being a dumbass goon, he does this to our hero's favor. Chip returns to his slave duties. Then, in a scene that is possibly placed in the wrong order, Cosmos regains control of his guidance systems.
I got control back!
Teletran must have canceled the override.
I don't know who did what, but I don't care. We're heading back to Earth!
From primitive jet engine.
Back on Earth, armed forces at last rise up against the Decepticon occupation, with obvious unfortunate results.
Decepticons, transform!
Avoiding the wrath of children's television censors, all pilots either parachute to safety or retreat, leaving their squad mates to drown. At the height of Megatron's hubris, our heroes make a triumphant entrance.
You hear that? It sounds like Autobots.
Megatron!
No! Impossible! I saw you disintegrated!
Illusion, Megatron. Just as you made the people of Earth see us Autobots as villains, so we too staged an illusion.
Oh, snap. And now, in the spirit of selling their toys, the robots fight once again.
Autobots, transform!
Buy them all! That's when Starscream realizes the episode is almost over.
It's no use! We're outnumbered!
We've lost the advantage!
The Decepticons retreat to also be sold again another day.
I doubt anyone will ever forgive me, but I'll make amends. I'll disband my private army.
Oh, that's real big of you, Burger. They all quit when they found out what a dog lunch you are.
Dog lunch?
I said I'm sorry. You are going to face justice, and may it be kinder to you than it was to us. Autobots, transform and roll for home.
Our heroes redeemed, and true justice to be served. Sometimes you realize why fiction is so much better than our actual cartoon reality. Wow, you guys. 2 great episodes that after all these years still continues to nourish my inner child. Now, I will unleash my outer cynical adult. Why are these men guarding his television?
Get me the Autobots!
Why does he say that as if he's giving the order to the cameraman?
And now I declare this facility Decepticons. Thank goodness, the Autobots!
This guy is really good at spotting and telling Transformers apart from regular vehicles at a considerable distance. So, how powerful are these weapons, really? Also, did Starscream forget that he can also fire back? Not to mention turn into a jet and just fly away from here?
Well, looks like we showed them, Spike.
These two did nothing. This is the first time they are seen in the entire episode.
The workers aren't here yet. That gives us plenty of time to drain this oil field dry.
How would they hear them over the helicopter blades and from this distance?
Wait, maybe we still have a chance.
Decepticons, attack!
Blast him, Megatron!
How does Burger see directly out of the back of this helicopter, as if it were the family station wagon?
No more, Megatron! I yield!
So I guess evil Optimus just yields and the war is over then, right? Oh, nope, through the magic of editing, they just hide like Jawas in the sand dunes. Wheeljack's missile launches multiple projectiles, but not the actual missile. Later, it fires a laser. What gives? These TV screens weren't outside in the establishing shots, but magically the TV screens appear outside City Hall when they're needed. Later, when the Autobots exit, once again they magically disappear.
It's impossible! Play the second tape.
Why not just have it all in one tape for efficiency? I mean, the man has a private army, he buys tanks, and he can even build spaceships. You telling me he's trying to save money on Betamax tapes? After a show of support, it looks like Prime just drives away and leaves them there to get their asses kicked by the mob.
Lousy Autobot lovers!
Autobots, this is Sean Burger. Surrender at once!
Flush the drugs, quick. This works. In the tape, Prime removes his mask to reveal Starscream. But earlier in this episode, when we saw this scene, Starscream was one of the Decepticons driven off by Prime and the others. Also, when they take the masks off, the 2 points next to their heads magically reappear, but were invisible when the heads were disguised. So how does any of that work?
It is the decision of this court that the defendants be found guilty as charged.
How about no, you're wrong, we're not leaving, you can't stop us, and you will thank us later when your dumbasses figure it all out. What is Megatron pointing his gun at here?
Where is Spike?
He's your fucking kid, dude. Why are you asking Chip?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
How and why is Burger's spaceship linked to Teletran 1? And why would Megatron be able to access Teletran 1? Why wouldn't the Autobots attempt to remove it from the Ark and bring it with them? Okay, here's a quick view of the seating chart, but later, when we see all the Autobots, there's a different number of seats, and everyone's sitting in different places. This walking perspective is all fucked up. This is preposterous. This works. And just how long are these assholes gonna fly directly towards the sun before they figure out something is going on? Why does solar radiation sound like deep woods crickets? How is he watching this?
Mom, I don't have any metal-colored crayons, and I need one to finish coloring Megatron.
This kid can't even color in the lines. He should work on that before sending his poor mom to get him more crayons. Have a little respect for your mom's money, you little shit. Also, look at how much he has left to color in, and look at how much crayon he has left. Why would he possibly need another? What a lying little prick.
People of Earth, this is Megatron. Any questions?
Can somebody tell me what kind of a world we live in where a man dressed up as a bat gets all of my press?
Is Darth Vader my father?
Where's the beef?
I want to know absolutely everything that's happened up to now.
Well, let's see. First, the Earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came. But they got too big and fat, so they all died, and they turned into oil. And then the Arabs came, and they bought Mercedes-Benzes. And Prince Charles started wearing all of Lady Di's clothes. I couldn't believe it. He took her best summer dress out of the closet and put it on him looking
for a traitor!
Burger, you filthy swine!
Oh my god, as if you weren't all just as dumb as he was.
We've been working for a traitor!
And you also go to work and use a machine gun every day. You're not a cop and you're not in the military. That should have tipped you off that something was weird a while ago, too. On a lighter note, Starscream has blue eyes. How funny. If we've already established the Autobots were too hot to function from the sun's radiation, then how is Cosmos possibly doing this right now?
Cosmos, we're heading back toward the sun. What's the problem?
Sorry, Prime. My navigational systems are still controlled by Teletran 1.
That makes zero sense. Spike causes a distraction so Chip can escape. He then yells out what Chip is about to do, rendering his own actions completely meaningless.
Roll, Chip, roll!
A wide open door, you say. On the building where you're keeping prisoners, you say. That Decepticons can't fit through, but humans can. Good choice.
Human escapes. He is harmless.
Oh my god, then what was the point? Oh, whatever, let's just keep going.
You hear that?
It sounds like
Autobots.
Or just cars. This final battle is surprisingly lazy. It's just extended filler with minimal animation. Just guns firing, mostly. Well, I do hope they'll do better next time. And speaking of next time, our next episode is another double, the desertion of the Dinobots, so I'm gonna need to get right to work on that one. So, in the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe, and I do hope to sincerely see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Take care.
Laserbeak want a cracker?